welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, and today we are taking a look at Afrika, the North African campaign, 1940 to 1942. So, this is part of the Gamer's Standard Combat series. This is number 2 in that series. And this is from 1993. So, this game is almost 30 years old, and the series is, and this particular title also designed by Dean Essig, who created the series, very famous and prolific designer. There is Afrika 2, which is basically a revised version of this, which is actually quite different. Apparently it's very good, and people are like, oh, it's amazing, but I think it's out of print, it's very expensive. But Afrika, very cheap, because, it shows its age a little bit in this little tiny 1-inch box, and, the new version's apparently that much better. So I picked this up on a cheap, because why not? Who knows what we might get out of it. It might still be serviceable, right? It's SCS. It might still, be at least interesting. It might be good. But yeah, it's a 2-player North Africa hex encounter war game, so I like the Standard Combat series. We played Rostov 41, which is the newest version. I mean, that came out I think it came out in 2020, I believe. Extremely good. Love the system. That was our first one in this series. So I'm like, let's play one of the very earliest ones and see if, how much has changed, or how much is the same, and what we can get out of this. Because I think I paid like $15 for this. It might be terrible, but it might be serviceable. Who knows? And for $15, it's better than $150 for Afrika 2. So we'll see. So you get 2 little D6 in it, which is what I would expect. We have our little customer registration card. Ooh, which has the Gamers Incorporated, 500 West 4th Street in Homer, Illinois. I don't know if this is a business address. I guarantee there's nothing there anymore, at least that we'll get a reply, but I'm not sure if that was, because I think Dean Essig, founded the Gamers, and I don't know if that was, his address. Probably not, but we can go and register if you want. That'd be funny. We might send that off and see what happens. We have a little aide de camp talking about what the Gamers is, what you get out of this, and a little help by play-by-mail stuff that we got going on. So, series rules. This is what we're looking at. So that's funny. This is the second title in this series, and we're already on version 1.5. So version 1 came in the original game, which I forget the name, which is embarrassing. I should know it, but I don't. So, series rules. And I feel like Rostov was only on 1.8 or 1.7. I don't think there's been that many revisions. I could be wrong about that. It's been a while, and Grant has that, so I wasn't able to look it up. But, series rules. 8, that's not really rules, is it? Welcome to the Gamers, and our definition of total game support. Look at all these exclamation marks to let you know how excited they are. This is amazing. You can get rules help by phoning this number. Love that. You can go online help. We are on Genie, which is some forum-y database style web host from the 90s that I'm sure a number of you viewers out there know what this is. I had to look this up on the internet and be like, what on earth was this? Because you go onto Genie, and it's in Category 4, Topic 43, page 805. It's this directory, and within that, there would be posts, and you could ask and answer questions. So, the internet doesn't even have Genie anymore, but it's, the equivalent of a forum where you can ask questions and stuff. Love it. You can send a letter or a fax, and they've got all the details right here. Sometimes wargaming's just fun, because it's a little bit of a, the games don't change, right? You can still get this, and everyone's got them, and it's still got all these tiny little time machine in a box. I love it. So yes, these are the rules. Has a couple diagrams in it, which is more than you can say for anything that was made in the 70s and 80s, mostly. But if it's anything like regular up-to-date SES, very digestible and actually very simple and easy to learn. And I really, really appreciate Standard Combat Series for that. Then we have our game-specific rules, which are another, let's see, actual rules, you're looking at 4 pages odd. 4 or 5 pages of rules. Then you get into the different scenarios that are in here, which there are a bunch, and there's some designer's notes and a little order of arrival on the back as well. So the Rostov 41 rules look identical to this, just so you know. Some things don't need to be fixed. All right, so everything else that we've got in this tiny, tiny little box. Ooh, some little counters. All right, we've got 2 maps, and we'll crack those out here in just a second. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully that's the counters from this that have fallen out. So again, this is from 93, so I don't know what to tell you. Alright, cool, we'll look at those in a second, I guess. So you get 1 sheet of counters, and if you've played anything by Multiman Publishing, a lot of their games still look like this. They're very distinctive. These the smaller counters that are just have like very functional. You have your NATO symbols on them. We have our... Gosh, do they have the DG markers? No. So we've got our supply markers down here. Presumably these are carried fuel and supply as well. And our combat unit. So you got a little Rommel up here. Germans. We got some Italians in green here. Sorry, it's Italians. I know that. And then we have our allies. So we've got, these are Australians, and we have Indian Commonwealth forces, and what I would presume then is British 8th Army, amongst other things. Oh, and we got some Sappers down here as well, and a little Greek unit, a couple Free French units. That's nice. I'm glad that they include them. But these are, it's grey core counters. These are, we'll see how these punch. Come on, 1993. Yeah, for 30-year-old counters, these are coming off the spruce decently well. They have the tufts on the edge of them that are pretty severe, but I will clip these and they'll end up looking very, very nice, as they typically always do. So then the reverse side. Some of these units are single-sided units, others have a reduced side on them, different denominations of the supply and fuel. But that's basically it. There's a couple other markers for turns and naval capacity and stuff. But that's the counters. Kind of standard, what you would expect. Standard combat series, imagine that. And we had here, what was this? Articles of War Limited, presenting your complete military history bookstore. So you can, I guess there was a bookstore that you could go to. Oh, look, a little 1993 price list. So your Civil War Brigade series, TCS, Tactical Combat Series, MMP just released, gosh, what was it? Their Ariete game that we bought that we still haven't played, shamefully. OCS. Well, look, there was a time where there was only 2 OCS games. Imagine that. I had to start somewhere, and our Standard Combat Series. So it was Stalingrad Pocket was the first one, then Afrika. But yeah, little buying guide there as well. So let's have a look at the maps. Alright, so it's 2 maps, but one of them is only half size. So let's have a quick look here. And these are what I would call very MMP. Okay. So I presume that this map goes on this side, because we don't have Alexandria on here, and we need to. Yeah. Alright. So, gosh. It's my table's not particularly long, so a little, full map. I have a fairly standard sized table, and this fits on very easily. I have at least anywhere from 4 inches on each end free and about 6 on each end this way. So this actually sits on my table very nicely, this 1.5 maps. But it's it is a very functional map. Everything is very bold and very clear. Like there is no ambiguity about what's what, right? Here's the desert. It's the land. Here are the roads. Here are the borders between Libya and Egypt. We have our presumably massive highway up and down the north coast. This is the ocean. You cannot go here. But they've got all these holding boxes and charts printed on the map. Love, love, love that. And instead of having like extra play aids, they got all this space and they're able to utilize it for different port capacity tracks, turn tracks, air point tracks, all that kind of stuff. We have our records track up here that's going to go through all the time and dates. And then we have different chart modifiers up here for terrain, movement and combat. CRTs printed on the map as well. And there's no play aids in this game. The only play aid of which there's anything to speak of is printed on the back here, and it's simply an allied order of arrival when your reinforcements come in, basically. That's the only thing that's not on these maps. There's no cards, there's no anything extra. When you're rolling dice, you kind of got to go here. So I might photocopy this just so it's less looking across the table or someone's always upside down on it. That might be the only thing that I do. Sequence of play print on the map. Love, love, love. And little holding boxes for Axis dead and allied withdrawn as well. Kind of over here as well. You get all the way over to the Nile, and you actually get some fairly nice, oh look, we've got the Nile Delta, and I don't know, I've seen maps that were worse than this that were made much more recently, is all I would say. So that's the game though. Afrika, it's the Gamers Afrika, it's from the Gamers, but no longer in print. Afrika 2 was printed by MMP. You can get that. Apparently it's a bigger, and it's an improvement. But this is what I got, and we're going to figure it out and make it work. So appreciate you guys tuning in. I've been Alexander from theplayersaid.com, and this is